Hi, welcome to my first ever informational meeting on grief and loss. My name is Marta Mazzoni. I am a life coach, a meditation guide, and a grief recovery specialist. Journey with grief, my story with grief is I lost my sister Nina, Louise Napoleon, in 2021, on April 5th. She was 47 and she died of cancer. So Neen got cancer. She wrestled with it. She did the best she could, and she passed away on April 5th, 2021. That was hard. I that's There are no words for that. I was a person that was looking actively, since I was her support person. I felt like I was grieving every step of the way, every step that she had to take. I felt like I was walking alongside her, hopefully offering support. But when she died, I was really, really looking for a way to process my grief. I was reading every book imaginable that have to do with grief and change and transitions. I was recording so many podcasts. Sorry, not sorry for anybody that tuned in to. I'm a podcast host too. A lot of subjects around being vulnerable and asking for help and all that stuff. I was looking for answers. I couldn't really find anything that would help me ease the pain surrounding the grief. A friend of mine, about 6 months, maybe 5 months after Neen died, I suggested that there was like this method out there. It was called grief recovery method. And I'd never heard of it before. And I thought I did a lot of digging into what was out there. So I did what I did best, do what I do best, and I researched the shit out of it. I'm an interviewer, so I interviewed some people that actually went through it and was like, "What do you really think of this? No, you can tell me. Like, what? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me." I was skeptical. Their boast was that they, provide this toolkit to help you move with your grief and to take the pain away surrounding unresolved grief. And I just didn't believe it. But I did it because I was at that point, I was like, sure, I challenge you to let's do this. And it worked. Nobody was more surprised than I was. Nobody. It took the pain away. I came out a different person, and that's saying a lot. Yeah, and that's my story. So fast forward like 2 years later, and I kept getting called to come back to the grief recovery method and take the training to become a specialist to help and walk other people through the method. And I did this for a couple reasons. I wanted to deepen my knowledge of grief. Since I'm a coach, I thought at the very least, it's just going to make me a better coach, a better listener, a better person. Uh, and yeah, and that's why I did it. And I completed my training. I am now a grief recovery specialist. All that means to me is I like the term tour guide, honestly, or someone compared me to Virgil from Dante's Inferno, like the person that walks alongside you and witnesses your grief in a safe and non-judgmental space, which is really hard to find. Yeah, and that's what I do. That's why we're here. I want to be clear and pause there that I'm not a licensed therapist. That's a whole another category. It's not a replacement for therapy. It's just a method that helped me, and I think it can help other people. Another reason why I went into the training is I really wanted to educate people about what I learned. I wanted to bring these subjects into the light because they are in the dark. Approach it in a different way that was lighter. Things that you do in the grief recovery method, it's in like 3 parts. And the first part, I call it like the unlearning of everything that we were taught. The reason why this is so important is because it is a roadblock. It is actually standing in our way of our healing because we think we're doing grief wrong. By the way, you're not. A couple myths that we've been taught is that grief is linear. Not linear at all. It is all over the place, people. Sometimes you feel like Joker from the Batman. Yeah, it's all over the place, but we think it is. And that leads me to the next myth. It's like grief is something you get past. It's something you get over. It's something you move on from, you get over it. And that's just not true. I will always grieve my sister. Oh, always grieve her. I'm just not carrying the pain of it anymore. There's over 40 different losses, which result in the emotion that brings on grief, like divorce, moving, change of jobs, loss of a childhood, loss of trust, loss of a best friend. Like there's 40 different losses. Grief is unique. My grief isn't the same as somebody else's grief. The pain is acute. We're both feeling the pain, but our griefs, they're different. They're unique. Therefore, like the way that we handle them is unique. And three parts of the method starts with the unlearning. So important. The second stage is the discovery stage. And it's like, I like to call this your personal investigation into the losses that you have experienced in your life. You explore those. And then the third stage is like the rebuilding, the restorative phase. This is like where the healing comes, the growth comes, the aha moments, the release. Is this religious based? This leaves that at the door. You can do this no matter who, where, what race, like what you believe in. It doesn't matter. It's a method. It's not based on that. And that was really important to me in a time of and still a time of confusion. Marta, I didn't have anybody pass away on me. Is this still for me? Is this still something that I can use? When I was going through the method, I knew who, because you choose. That's what happens, is it gets revealed of who you want to work on this unresolved relationship. And we pick one person, one tangible person to work on. And I knew I wanted to work on Neen because that was the acute pain that I had. While I was doing the method and I started to see, I knew that there was another person that I was close to that I wanted to do this method on. Fast forward to the training, we have to do the method again, which I didn't know in the training that we would have to do the method again. So it gave me the opportunity to work on that person. This person's still alive. I have unresolved grief with them. I have pain. It's stuck, right? Like the relationship isn't what I want it to be because my reactions to maybe something they say are like defensive. And I don't know why. And going through the method with this person, I didn't know if it was working or not. I didn't know if my grief was resolved with this person. And then they called me. Totally didn't even think of it. They called me on the Tuesday following. They said something that normally in the past I would have reacted to, like my guard would have been up, my defenses, my hawks, you know what I mean? It's like, like I would have responded with, how you coming at me with this? And I didn't. Me not responding that way allowed this perspective and the conversation to open up, and this flow, this like amazing conversation that we had to happen. This has not happened before. And I didn't realize it. So like after I left, I was meeting my friend Dana for coffee, and I'm telling her she wanted to hear all about the method. And as I'm talking, like I literally got off the phone with this person 20 minutes prior, it came out that it worked. The point, very long-winded story, is that your person doesn't have to be dead now. And in fact, I would say our most important, not the most important relationships, but the fact that you have an opportunity to heal the pain surrounding people that are alive, it's incredible. And they don't have to be a part of the program. They don't even know you're working on them, believe me. Because what ends up happening is you're working on yourself. Only we can control our emotions. Only we, and we heal from the inside, and it just affects everything that comes out.
It's truly an incredible program, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. If you'd like more information, click the link below to set up a free connection call, or send an email to martafoos@gmail.com or Instagram @martasonthemove.